Hello and good afternoon. I'm Craig Cipriano, President of MTA Bus Company, Senior Vice President for Buses for New York City Transit. So we had an incredibly tragic accident last night. Just after 11 p.m. last night, an articulated bus was traveling on University Avenue, making a left turn onto the ramp leading to the Cross Bronx Expressway, when it veered off the road and onto the University Avenue overpass. My colleague, MTA Chief Safety Officer Pat Warren, and I arrived at the scene just past midnight and were there through much of the morning. We have launched a full investigation into what happened in close coordination with the NYPD and FDNY. But before we get into the preliminary results of that investigation, I want to take some time to run through the facts. The bus was a BX35 heading to 178th Street and Broadway. The incident occurred at 11:05 p.m. The bus operator is 55 years old and has 11 plus years of good service on the job and a good safety record during those 11 plus years. This was his regular route. The bus was en route with 7 customers on board plus the bus operator. All passengers were removed from the bus after the crash and transported to the local hospital. The latest information on the bus operator is that he suffered cuts, bruises, body pains, and a broken jaw. We are told he was able to assist in helping to evacuate the customers that were on that bus. The bus was a 2017 New Flyer compressed natural gas bus, an articulated bus coming out of West Farms Depot, and was inspected last on January 13th with no mechanical issues. At this time, the bus has been removed from the scene. Again, this is a horrible crash, and we are leaving no stone unturned in our effort to figure out what happened. Now I would like to turn it over to Chief Safety Officer Pat Warren to give some additional information on the incident. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. As said, I'm Pat Warren. I'm the MTA Chief Safety Officer, and I'm also the acting Chief Operating Officer for New York City Transit. I arrived at the scene shortly after midnight and spent the morning with the teams from the NYPD and the FDNY to stand up the investigation. This is obviously a terrible tragedy that our hearts go out to the passengers of the bus and their families who had to go through this. We will continue to provide any support we can to them. I also want to thank the NYPD and the FDNY for their swift action in this case. Now, here are the facts that we know at this time. They are all preliminary, and the investigation will take some time. The bus was equipped with outward and inward facing cameras and a black box recorder or data recorder and a GPS system. Our investigation team is just now getting the opportunity to review these items, but the first reviews confirm the following. The bus appears, according to GPS, to have been traveling at a high rate of speed as it attempted to make the turn. We know the bus was going between 17 and 26 miles per hour at the time of the incident. We know that the speed limit on the road was 25 miles an hour, but the appropriate speed for taking a turn such as this is between 3 and 4 miles an hour. So we can say at this time that while the investigation is ongoing, speed is clearly a factor and is obviously of great concern to us. The bus operator was an 11-year veteran of the department with a clean record, as Craig mentioned. We don't have any information at this time regarding the health or cognitive status of the operator at the moment of the incident. We have been informed by police that the bus operator passed a breath test at the scene of the incident. However, upon arrival at the hospital, the bus operator refused to take an FTA-mandated drug and alcohol test. This is obviously troubling. As I said, the investigation is ongoing. These findings are preliminary, and we shall have more information. We will provide more information when we have it. Now I'd like to turn it over to Sarah Farnberg.
Okay, thank you. So first I want to thank the NYPD and the FDNY for their assistance and help as we stood up this investigation, obviously for responding so quickly to the scene of the incident. I want to thank my colleagues Craig Cipriano and Pat Warren for their quick arrival at the scene, and for all of the teams at New York City Transit, again, NYPD and the fire department who responded and helped us throughout the night. Obviously, investigation, as both Pat and Craig said, in its early stages. Often we don't have all the information just within hours of an incident. It's in the days following an incident that we get all of the information and can read out more. As we have information that we can confirm as facts, we'll share it with you so that we can be as transparent as possible. Thankfully, incidents like this are really rare. So our thoughts and prayers are with the victims of this incident, of this crash. We'll be thinking about them and wishing them the best. We're grateful and thankful for our bus operators who, day in and day out, carry New Yorkers safely and efficiently, interested in getting through this investigation and on to the next steps, and we'll be sure we share information with you as we have it. And with that, take some questions.
Is there a criminal investigation by the NYPD into the actions of the bus driver?
So I'll obviously leave that to the NYPD to determine. That's not our area of expertise. I would assume so, given the circumstances. But I'll leave that to them.
Hi, Sarah. Given the initial concerns that this might be a braking problem, obviously our question would be: is everybody else safe? Are we moving away from that now, in thinking mechanically we're sound, and there isn't any reason for concern for other bus riders? Thanks.
I'll let Craig or Pat or whoever wants to jump in, but that's not a piece of concern for us at this point. But obviously, our eyes and we stay open to any developments of the investigation. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, no, I'd just like to add that at this time, our preliminary investigation shows no indication of any mechanical issues. And in fact, as I had said earlier, the bus was just inspected on January 13th with no open issues.
Hi, New York
I'll just make
Post.
one more comment on that. And I know that you're all in the city every day. Buses in the city operate every day very, very successfully and very, very safely. This, we certainly are interested in what's went on in this case, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. But New Yorkers should trust all the years and months that we've had these buses moving, that they're riding a safe system.
Is there a suspicion that the bus driver was drunk? And also recently, some data came out that bus operators are drinking on the job. I think it was something like 55%. Is that something that you guys are looking into?
So, sorry, the first part of your question was suspicion about the bus operator. I did not catch the second part of the question.
Recently there was some information that came out that bus operators are drinking on the job. Is that something that you guys are looking into?
Okay, so let me take the first part first. So we'll defer to the NYPD for the results of their breathalyzer. But as Craig and Pat mentioned, the information that has been shared with us is that the operator took a breath test at the scene and passed. Our concern is that he then refused to participate in the FTA mandated and MTA mandated drug and alcohol test, which is extremely rare for someone not to agree to cooperate with it, and obviously extremely troubling. I have no information about the second part of your question. I think it's possible that you may be thinking about a different issue, but we have no information that bus operators would be drinking, and we would take that extremely seriously. And in fact, incidents like that are incredibly rare. Any other questions? Oh, sorry. Yeah, absolutely. And my colleagues can talk more specifics, but of course, we follow all of the FTA guidelines. We do random drug screens and alcohol screens all the time. In fact, I think last year the New York City Transit did more than 38,000 drug tests. So not only do we test regularly, we test more than any other agency, I believe, in the country. Not that we're aware of, no. Do you want to say anything else? No. Okay.
Other questions? Anybody? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.